Here are 5 mistakes that business owners make and how you can avoid them. Hi, my name is Nate Jones. I make videos on entrepreneurship, business, and how to start businesses and which businesses you should start. So if you get value out of this, hit like and subscribe. So why is it important that you know these mistakes? It's important that you know these mistakes because I've seen this in my multiple businesses. I've fallen into these traps. I've made these mistakes, and I've seen other people, business owners that I work with on a weekly basis, make these mistakes. So it's important for you to know the mistakes so you can identify them before they happen and minimize them. Because if you can minimize mistakes, it helps your business grow and scale so much faster. It is so easy to fall into these mistakes. So let's dive in. Number 1, you don't know your numbers. That's a mistake. You need to know your revenue, your cash flow, your financial statements. You need to know your sales numbers. How many calls you guys making? What's your marketing numbers look like? How are people seeing your website on Google? Are people paying you? How are they interacting with you? How are they reviewing your business? I mean, every aspect of your business with the revenue, you should have numbers. Every aspect with the expenses, you should have numbers. Are our expenses returning on investment? Which means, hey, am I spending money to go get money? Why are we spending money on this? How quickly are we growing? How fastly are we making sales? Everything should be measured because when it's measured, you're allowed to identify shortcomings and you're allowed to identify things that are working really well, and you lean into the things that are working really well. Business, I've said this before, is all math. When you can see your numbers and the data tells you a story about your business, you're able to identify things and take advantage of situations. So know your numbers and track them every single day. Okay, number 2, get out of your own way. I work with business owners all the time, and I've seen this in my own business. So many people get in their own way. There's a guy, he owned a business and he kept trying to cut corners. He kept trying to grow too quickly, kept trying to do things that was just not sustainable, and we kept telling him, hey, you can't do that. If you do that, this is going to happen. And he just didn't believe us. And then he ended up going out of business because he was trying to get in his own way. He didn't listen to the people. He didn't listen to the professionals in his corner, his CPA, his attorney, his insurance agent. I'm an insurance agent. I own an insurance agency. And we kept telling him, hey, don't do this because this is going to happen. And people get in their own way. I see so many business owners that want to grow and blow things up. They're so just fired up, or they make decisions on a whim. They go buy something that's irrational. They buy a car, or they spend a ton of money on this building, and they haven't thought it through. They haven't allowed themselves to sleep and come back with a clear head and say, hey, I'm going to make an informed decision and be smart about this. Be strategic. Be a military sergeant with your decision making, and don't make it quickly. You're getting in your own way. You're tripping yourself up. You're knocking yourself down trying to grow so quickly when it's, hey, be smart, build A before you build B before you build C. You got to do that. Some businesses you can blow up really quickly, but again, you have to have systems in place. Stop getting in your own way and start making informed decisions and be strategic with the way you want to grow. The third thing here, people, a lot of times when I see this, and I've gotten in my own way on this, you aren't open or flexible to new opportunities. And what that means is in your business, you want to do a lot of times the sexiest thing. You don't want to focus on this. You want to focus on whatever's kind of fun, and then you look out there and you're like, oh, I missed that opportunity. Opportunities sometimes come to you disguised as something that isn't fun, that doesn't seem that exciting. But opportunities are what your business, as a small business, you're able to move quickly. Big businesses, if they want to move here, they have to spend months and quarters of planning and doing all this just to get here. And by the time they got there, the opportunity's already been taken by a small business like you because you're able to go, oh, shift, boom. So follow opportunity. If you see an opportunity as a small business, you're able to shift so much faster, which will help you grow. So in my business, I've seen this, hey, why are we doing this over here when if we just focused on here, the revenue and the profits would go so much higher? Why are we doing this segment? Like, why are we, like I own an insurance agency, why are we doing this type of vertical when we should be doing this? Because this is so much more profitable than this. Okay, so I need to follow opportunity. Even though this is more fun, I need to go over here. I need to go over here. So find when you see opportunities and be looking for opportunities and be open to change. So many business owners, it's like the franchise model where they're like, well, I have to do it this way because this is how every other business does it. That is not true. The more that you're different than every other business, the faster and more unique your business is in the long term in which you can scale and grow. Okay, the fourth thing here is you steal from your business. This means, hey, whatever profits I have, I'm taking out and I'm just giving myself a paycheck. And every year, I'm not investing anything back in. I'm not hiring additional people. I'm not buying better equipment or systems or software or whatever. You're just taking from your business every single year. And your business is like a Ferrari. It's like, hey, I want to go. I want to go quickly. I want to blow up. And you're taking the gas out of me. You're taking car wheels off me. I want to go blow up and you're taking stuff off of me. So what I'm trying to say as a business owner, there's no problem with making very good money, taking money out of business. But you do have to say, hey, every year I need to have a plan of some of the net income being invested back into this business so I can continue to blow it up. Stop stealing from your business and taking everything out of it and start investing back in. Because if you can invest back in your business, the return on investment, if you do it correctly, is 3 to 4 times what you invested back in. It should be. So invest back into people, invest back into systems, invest back into marketing, and then all 3 of those verticals will provide a return on investment if you do them correctly. The 5th thing here, you take your eye off the ball. And when I'm saying the ball here, this is sales. People don't focus on sales. You can't score unless you hit the ball in baseball, right? You can play great defense, you can have a pitcher that's pitching lights out, but if you don't score, you can't win. So you got to hit the ball. And small businesses, what they do is at the beginning, they start hitting singles, doubles, triples, maybe even home runs, and they're just hitting and they're doing really well. And then they get up on the scoreboard and they're like, well, I'm going to focus on this. I'm going to focus on this and this and this. And like sales, it's just going to keep coming in because it came in when we started. And then your time is devoted away from sales. So sales gets way down because there's nobody spending time on it. And then everyone's doing this over here, which costs revenue and costs time and all this stuff. And then they're like, wait, our profit went way down. Why are we not making sales? Because you have nobody in sales. What you need to do is say, hey, I'm right here in sales. I need to find a way to bring it up here. And then when this increases, bring up the systems along with the sales. The sales should always be above the systems and the people and spending time on that. You should always be spending more time on sales than you are on people, systems, and implementing and all that. Sales should always be ahead of it because if sales is always ahead of it, you can always afford to implement systems, hire people. But if you don't have revenue, the business cannot continue to grow, cannot continue to be invested into. So you need to know, hey, we need to be focusing on sales. Sales should be the number one priority in our business until our business is massive and it's grown like massively. And then you say, okay, we have all this money, let's invest back in. But sales should always be a focus because that's why business is in business, is to make sales, okay? So sales needs to be the focus. So these are 5 mistakes that I've seen, that I've made, that other people I've seen have made, and start minimizing them today. Create strategies, write these down, and comment below. Have you seen any other mistakes that you've made in business that have just made you frustrated that you went down that road? And if you got value to this, I would just ask that you please subscribe and like.